Tonight, Damien Sandow weighs in on the importance of grooming your beard even if you're never on TV. Then, Barack Obama bans the use of the DDT. He is a Jerichoholic. Plus, Triple H confirms that anyone who does not favorite and retweet all of his posts will be buried. And remember, kids, these are highly trained professionals, and Eva Marie. Don't try this at home. This is the Colbert Report.
No, this is Duke and Larry or GnWC or what? Well, I don't even know what we are anymore. Oh, we're predicting Payback. That's what we're doing.
You take the fun you're like the fun police, dude. That's your name.
That was such a great open, though, man. I'm so proud of you. That was so fantastic.
I only fumbled once, too.
I didn't even notice it. You did it so well.
Thank you.
Very good.
I watched a lot of Colbert.
That was almost as good as Goldango.
Almost as good as Goldango.
Goldango.
The golden, gorgeous ones? What were they called? I don't remember anymore. Anyway, welcome to the GnWC Predicts Payback 2016 edition. As you know, he's the Duke, and I'm Larry, whatever, Angry Larry. Let's get rolling right into it.
Methuselah Honeysuckle. Anyway.
Methuselah Honeysuckle. MC, clap your hands. The pre-show this month. The pre-show title is on the line. Pre-show champion Kalisto is fighting the Ryback.
That's so mean.
Do you have any opinions on this match whatsoever?
No, I think Ryback wins. I'm predicting Ryback wins. Yep.
All right. Ryback wins. I'll agree with you there. What happens now with this title?
I think you put it on Ryback so that here's the thing, and I don't want to be too long-winded on this because I don't feel like we need to give it that kind of time. I don't necessarily think Kalisto is a bad U.S. champion. I think WWE creative doesn't know how to book Kalisto as a U.S. champion.
They don't know how to book anybody who's not a body, who's not an Adonis, who's not a physical specimen.
Not a big guy.
Right.
And no pun intended, but it just completely works here. But they don't know how to book someone who's not, I mean, in a roster where not everyone is huge anymore, you can't put Kalisto in a match with, Tyler Breeze. And I know he's actually a big guy, but you don't necessarily see him that way. Damien Sandow. I
mean, bottom line is Neville would have never broken his ankle if they went right to a Neville versus Kalisto feud and made this title a lower mid-card kind of title and made it change hands a few times since Kalisto's won it. It could have elevated a lot of people, and you could have had a little fun with it.
Sure, but every story is David versus Goliath, and
even when Kalisto
we don't
wins,
want to see that.
It's got to be something. It's got to be the the turnbuckle was exposed, or whatever.
They don't even protect him as champion. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like he's not like his booking, and you can blame it on the wrestler, or you can blame it on creative, or you can blame it on a little bit of both, or whatever. But it's just really strange, the booking of everything has to be David versus Goliath, and we have to do it over and over and over again, and there's no real consistency to the feud. It's, I beat this guy 3 times, and somehow I'm still fighting him at the next pay-per-view, a la Del Rio.
Yep.
And now it's happened with Ryback as well. So
yeah, I mean,
I think creative doesn't know what to do with that title unless it's on a big guy, and who better than the big guy.
I just don't want to see Ryback win this title and then the title still be held in like limbo obscurity where Ryback's still your champion 7 months later and you've only seen like 4 title matches on TV. Like that's
and I predict that's exact. I agree that that's exactly what would happen with his booking as well, but I don't know. I think Kalisto can do more without that title. I feel like that title is an albatross for him at the moment.
I think this, for both people, I think this has been just a wrong feud at the wrong time. Kind of open up the show and then see you guys later. But we'll call you if we need you. So yeah, Ryback. Yeah.
Maybe we see some matches with people that they think are worthy of the Ryback, or I don't know.
Listen, Ryback could fight this Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman. I still wouldn't be interested.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
So, all right, let's move on to something that has a little bit more relevance. The final of the number 1 Contender Tag Team Tournament sponsored by Budios. Enzo and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillains. What are your opinions on this match?
As much as I want to see Enzo and Big Cass win the big one, you kind of swayed me that this is.
I have that
ability.
Yeah, I have that ability, and then I changed my mind to make the other person look stupid. But go ahead.
You probably have changed your mind.
I don't know.
I mean, Enzo and Cass have been really hot in this, and the Vaudevillains have not, and they've even been a little awkward on the mic. English has been good, but
I don't think I've ever heard Simon Gotch talk before last Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and he's been a little awkward. Like you heard him in NXT a little bit.
Did you? I don't remember. Oh yeah, you're right. You did. Yeah.
He was more intense, and he's been like really. I don't know. I feel like someone's telling them backstage, "Hey, you can't be all hyper like you were in NXT. You got to settle it down." Because even Big Cass, he came out and he was just hot as fire the first time we saw him on the main roster, and he slowed it down and enunciated to an extreme in some cases. And that
was annoying.
That was
annoying.
What's that?
I said that was annoying, and he did it today on SmackDown. And he did it on Monday Night Raw.
Well, see, I thought it made sense when he was countering what Simon said about them. Basically, he was talking down to them as though they were uneducated or whatever, and so he slowed it down and spoke very
that makes sense. Yeah,
to them. That made sense within the context of that promo. Didn't make sense tonight, and so it made me think this is just a creative thing, saying, "Hey, you guys sound like you're from the Northeast too much or something." I don't know. Anyway,
and apologies for everyone who just heard that I got new email. That was unprofessional. Yeah, it's going to come through the XSplit though. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad.
But yeah, you sway me to the Vaudevillains, even though I think Enzo and Big Cass have been hot, because I don't know unless the New Day do what I was talking about last time, and we end up having the New Day the New Day with the U.S. Championship. How about that? Anyway, but yeah, moving on. I'm going to pick the Vaudevillains against my better judgment.
I'm going to pick the Vaudevillains too, and the argument that I gave you, I'm not too sure if it was on air, off air, or whatever, but it's been my argument for a couple weeks now. Enzo and Cass seem like they're in a feud with the Dudley Boys.
Sure.
Where the fact that the Dudleys can cost them the match, that's up in the air. Or they can rebound off of a loss and then just fight the Dudleys again for like a whole month, and then they can fight them at Extreme Rules tables match.
Everybody would love it.
Yeah, and everybody would eat it up.
Freaking love it.
Vaudevillains were the only team in that tournament that didn't have a rivalry. Didn't create a rivalry. And now their only rival is Enzo and Big Cass, who they're already fighting in the finals. So that with the New Day taking that big baby face kind of push right now, and I argue face heel ad nauseum, but it just doesn't make sense for a babyface New Day to fight the babyface hot Enzo and Big Cass. I don't think it does anything but divide fans. But you put them against the Vaudevillains, the throwback, the evil tacticians, and then the New Day, and I think I think it works better for fans who need a line drawn in the sand. Who's good? Who's bad? Who do I need to root for? Stuff like that. So I'll go with Vaudevillains there.
I'm gonna throw one more monkey wrench.
Sure.
And this is going forward, including this match. This card is amazing, in my opinion.
It's a good
has
card.
Been built very well for the most part. Again, except for the U.S. title, everything else just works. And I mean, the women's title, it's a little forced and kind of repeat, but it's still not
I'll tell you my opinion when we get there.
Yeah, exactly. I still doubt it's going to be a bad match. But anywho, real quick, that there is, and this is just a saying it to put it out there, there is a possibility that WWE says, you know what? The New Day were really good heels. And you could put them in a match against Enzo and Big Cass and them really heel out and just really get the crowd going.
It was
because
one of the...
I think the crowd boos the New Day at that point, and I don't think they get legitimate old school hate for it, but they would get booed maybe with a smile on your face every time they come out if they screwed over Enzo and Big Cass. So I'm just throwing that out there.
It was
But
my
that's,
one big
for Raw
concern
or
when they
whatever.
did the whole New Day go to face kind of thing, was the fact that they were just going to turn New Day heel face at the drop of the hat, depending on who the number one contender was. And I hate that. I really wish there was. And I can go on. I can fill an hour show about how I thought it was stupid to break up the
Either
League of
one of us
Nations on SmackDown for the same reason. But we'll save that rant for next time.
Yeah, we'll do it next time.
Dolph Ziggler versus Baron
legitimate.
Corbin. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, Baron Corbin. I know you have a lot of interest in this match, Duke, so why don't you speak on it?
I'm not going to talk too much about it. I can't say enough for this booking. Corbin has been amazing, and it's that weird thing where you hated him, and then you realize, oh, I'm supposed to hate him. This is working. Oh, he's really doing his job. Oh, he's being in character anywhere you see him.
I think you used to call him Boring Corbin, if I remember correctly.
I did not.
No?
Many people did.
Someone
but
did.
I believe someone else on this show said that. But
maybe.
Anyway,
I don't remember if your brother was on or
worked.
not. But
it completely worked for him, and his main roster. I mean, everyone.
Well, the difference
now
is
on
he's
the
being a
main
tough guy
roster-
now. Whereas before,
Sure.
he was just kind of like walking softly, carrying the big stick kind of person, walk slowly to the ring, hit the
Right.
guy would end the days, walk out. It was like nothing to him. But now he's like
being
legit
violent.
against Ziggler.
Yeah.
Except the only thing I didn't like is how he ran away from Ziggler on Raw. That seemed like very un-Baron Corbin-like to how they were building him. Like when Ziggler attacked him and he just kind of like ran to the back.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird, kind of out of place, but whatever. Like you said,
I get what you're saying.
yeah, it was kind of good build here. No better guy to sell your moves than Dolph Ziggler.
Thank you. That's what I was going to say, and that helps the protection of his gimmick even more. Is you've got a guy who can make it look like he just got in a car accident every time he gets touched.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And I guess you're going to go with me and Baron Corbin wins here.
Yes.
Poor Ziggler, man. Poor Ziggler.
Poor Ziggler, but talk about like playing a real industry role.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's.
I really hope he gets rewarded for it.
Yeah,
shortly.
Every time I see him put somebody else over, I think that maybe it's long for days where Dolph Ziggler is going to disappear for a couple of years and pursue other interests and then come back. Like most wrestlers inevitably do at one point in their career, HBK or whatever. And I don't want to see that, but bad feeling in my stomach. Speaking of bad feelings in your stomach, the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, versus Cesaro. Intercontinental title match, Duke.
I really like this matchup. I really, really do.
I like The Miz. I don't care what anybody says.
I love The Miz, and I get it.
I like him in this role.
Show.
I don't like him elevated anymore. I don't like him down anymore on the roster. I like him right where he is.
I like him right where he is, and for him to be right where he is, he needs to retain. And yeah. Now, you could have some crazy surprise return that neutralizes.
And who would that be?
See, I don't know, because the obvious.
Oh, you don't have a name. Okay.
Well, the obvious answer is Tyson Kidd, but he's not going to lay a finger on Maurice. So it's just like, I don't know.
So Oksana comes back to reprise her role with Cesaro and takes out Maurice. That'd be good. I like that.
That'd be crazy good. So it would be a good way to, I mean, talk about getting people hyped and getting a pop. And
Oksana comes out, blows the place up. Come on.
It would.
In my world, it does, but I don't think the other.
It does if it neutralizes Maurice and Cesaro wins because of it.
That'd be awesome, though.
people, the roof just blows off the place.
Is this the spot where Bailey debuts?
Now,
okay. I just wanted to put that out there.
That doesn't even work.
I just wanted to put that out there.
That doesn't work.
Everyone wants to put her somewhere, so I figured, well, let's right here. Tony Cesaro is not going to win. I don't think. I think Miz is going to.
Yeah,
I think
I'd love for him to, but I don't think this is.
I don't think they want to hot shot it that quick. I mean,
No.
after Zach wins it and Zach loses it the next day, I don't think they're going to do the next month pay-per-view, take it off of him. So I see the Miz retaining here with maybe like a next month stipulation match at Extreme Rules, or same month stipulation match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, it's only 2 weeks or 3 weeks apart.
Yeah,
right?
and I'm not too sure what that could be between these two, what the stipulation could be, but 4 corners, like, bull rope match, 4 corners or whatever. But
you could do a submission match.
Yeah, well, yeah, figure 4 versus whatever Cesaro does. I don't even know.
Yeah,
single leg.
Cesaro doesn't have like a tried and true, and like that could be the thing, is that Miz has a legitimate figure 4 that he uses on a consistent basis.
Remember when they used to do that back in the 90s? One guy used to win with a submission, the other guy never had a submission hold, so it was like, what is he supposed to do? It's like, well,
sure, exactly.
Maybe he watches TV like I do, and put submission holds on the wrestling buddy. Like, yeah. Maybe he has a video game and he learned some holds because of that. Who knows?
Exactly. But, and that's that's why I said that, because you don't see a lot. You've seen Cesaro do submissions, I think but you don't have like a signature submission from him. So.
I think Cesaro has a signature submission hold, and I'm not sure what it is. It might be some form of Texas Cloverleaf Scorpion Deathlock, sharpshooter or whatever. But
that's right. He does the sharpshooter for the throwback to Kid all the time.
Yeah.
So that would totally sharpshooter versus. So it's the same match.
It's the same match as the women's title match, except with Maurice and Oksana in your corner instead of Ric Flair and exactly. two eventual Hall of Famers, I'm sure. But all right, sure. Let's go to two real Hall of Famers fighting each other for the first time on the main roster: Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
The fans win.
Yeah,
that's it doesn't matter who wins this match. They're destined to fight forever, as they in WWE say.
Now, is this going to be a pay-per-view where everything's going to be rematched at Extreme Rules with a stipulation? Because this one definitely could.
I think a lot of these will move on. Definitely the women's title will move on.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know about that.
I think Jericho and Ambrose will move on. I think the main title match will move on. But I could see the IC being repeated. I don't see Ziggler Corbin being repeated because this is a repeat, sort of.
Well, they can have last man standing just because of the amount of times they've been physically attacking each other. But anyway, Zayn and Owens, though, they could have a last man standing match here. But who do you think wins the first one? Or do you think we're going to get some kind of cop-out battle not solved because it's been a double disqualification or whatever?
I don't know.
I think fans get pissed if that happens.
Just to pick one, I don't think they get pissed at these guys for it. Like, I really, I think they get pissed at WWE for it.
Oh, yeah,
of course. They say, why would you have a count out for these guys? Just make it no DQ. That would be the complaint on the booking there. So I'm just going to pick someone, and I'm going to say Zayn.
I'll say Owens wins, because I don't know if the good guy is going to win he'll win the war, but I don't know if he's going to win the initial battle. I think he'll do that tried and true, I'm never going to back down. I'm always going to keep coming after you. I'll get you one day kind of thing. And I think Sami Zayn has been that person for his whole WWE NXT career. So we'll do that, and we'll have the rematch at Extreme Rules. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, and an Iron Man / Last Man Standing match would make sense between.
If it was an Iron Man match,
then that would be a great place for Zayn to win it. So.
Imagine they did an Iron Man match. I mean, they do Iron Man matches, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens on the road on house shows. So it's not like they don't do that for the fans, but imagine
it's not like they don't know they exist.
Imagine they did a non-main event, non-title Iron Man match between two new guys. Like, fans would lose it, I think. And then I think other people might shoot it down because there's no title involved. But I'd welcome it. You'd welcome it. We know a lot of people would welcome it.
But last man standing makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much anything, any form of a street fight. Where are they going to be for? I think they're going to be in Newark, right? New Jersey.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So they're going to have a Prudential Center street fight or brawl, New York, Atlantic City brawl, and then you're 3 hours from Atlantic City. Whatever. But all right, women's title. Charlotte versus Natalya in the corner. Ric Flair for Charlotte, Bret Hart for Natalya. Now, Duke, let me start here, and just say that. And I hit on this every single time. Why can't the women's title be about the women involved and not about who is or isn't at ringside or who is or isn't related to the person in the ring? Why can't we have Charlotte versus Natalya? Why does it always have to be, oh, Charlotte's fighting Natalya, let's fly in Bret Hart? Because Ric Flair is going to be at ringside.
Well, especially when you have two guys that piss on the company, whether it be with their mouth or with their reputation.
Oh, reputation. Okay.
Yeah, same thing. So, like, I just don't get it. And I'm not trying to hate on them because they both are legends, and you wouldn't have the business today that you have without them in the mix. Don't get me wrong. Don't hear me wrong. But seriously,
they were never rivals. So
I'm just saying.
No. What I'm saying is I'm complimenting what you're saying.
Yeah.
They were never rivals, so they really have no point.
There's nothing there. It's literally about putting those two guys out there as big names in the business, and these ladies don't need that. That's the whole point of it being a women's division now, is they don't need a rub. They can survive on their own.
Right. They're not divas anymore. They're women, but we're still going to treat them as, the pawns of whoever they're related to.
Right.
Have you read the news lately or TMZ lately?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's where I was talking about the reputation thing.
Yeah.
And then in the same 24 hours, so that's on the Flair side, in the same 24 hours, you have Brett just talking straight out of his butt, right, and talking about how much he, just continuing to be extremely bitter towards Triple H.
Well, let me summarize it here because I have it all written down.
Okay.
Within the last 24 hours, Ric Flair was seen lounging around and sleeping in airports, being tended to for a cut on his forehead, acting erratic and incoherent, which is pretty much the normal for him. He taped SmackDown, an in-ring segment for the Ambrose Asylum, and told Natalya to go kill herself, which they edited out. And he's just been acting and seen in public like a lunatic, and it's just not good. And it just seems like a norm for Ric Flair in public to be in these kind of, if he's not intoxicated, but intoxicated-like situations where he's, lost in reality. Bret Hart, on the other hand, has been interviewed basically saying that Triple H, he's never seen any promise in Triple H or any vision. Basically, Triple H doesn't have a brain. He only likes people who are athletically built. He continues to harp on the WWE's downfalls in a nasty, sarcastic, get off my lawn kind of old man way. And
in the same conversation,
he also went on the record of not even wanting to be at Payback. He has no intention to ever be in a ring ever again for WWE, and he's only doing it because of Natalya.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, but also in that same conversation, talked about how the best wrestling of WrestleMania weekend was at NXT.
And then couldn't even recall Asuka's name.
Couldn't recall Asuka's name, but hang on. Can't see anything good about Triple H. The best wrestling of the weekend was at NXT. It's
right.
Just like, and there's something to be said for it's who's in the ring, but there's something to be said for why are they there? Why are they there?
Yeah, it all goes back to the unknowns that we don't really know. Just because it's NXT, how much of it is Triple H? Just because it's, somebody.
Fair enough.
I mean, that's fair enough, but at the same time, it's like widely known that NXT is Triple H's baby. He created it.
And you know who the guys talk about when they talk about having contract contract negotiations.
Yeah, it's
and
always
about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're not talking about anybody else. That there's all the other names, and they'll talk about how great Regal is, or how great Robbie Brookside is, or they'll talk about Matt Bloom, so on and so forth. They'll talk about all these other names, but when they're talking about why they're there, they're talking about Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see, I don't know if it's edited that way, if it's publicity or not, but anytime they're showing backstage stuff, NXT 24 and whatever the show that they had with NXT Breaking Ground, you always see Triple H sleeves rolled up helping people with their ring entrance, where to focus on the camera and stuff like that. And Brett's just cranky. He has a chip and he's not letting it go, no matter how many times WWE has buried the hatchet and just said, hey, you
Extended,
recognized him
not
as an
just the
important
olive
part of their
branch,
history.
but the entire olive tree.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's whatever it is. It's
Fine.
better for WWE to be friendly with Bret Hart, so Bret Hart can make appearances, than it is to be against him. Just just good business. But at the same time, Bret's really just like, all right, I'll take your money, but at the same time, screw you guys, you do everything wrong. And I just hope that this match is the end of Rick at Charlotte's corner. Whether it's the fact how Rick's handling himself outside the ring, or if it's just like, all right, we're going to move on, focus on the women only. I hope it is. At the same time, I think I
really feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, just to talk a little bit about the match itself. Basically, we've only been talking about how these guys distract from the women in the ring, and we're kind of not even talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Charlotte wins this one. I do think a rematch is happening at Extreme Rules as well, but I'll go with Charlotte on this one.
Yeah, I'll go with Charlotte, and maybe we have fallout where Charlotte says, hopefully they don't get too personal with it, but you can't handle Bret Hart at ringside. I don't need you anymore.
You know what was almost tasteless? When Charlotte today on Tuesday, I guess, on SmackDown was talking about all the problems Bret has had recently, I guess insinuating cancer. It's like, why do they need to do that? Why?
Yeah.
I hate it.
Because it's like what happened with the Page thing.
Yeah.
They feel that there's someone back on the writer's desk who thinks that women have to be catty at all times, and they can't.
Not only catty at all times, women need to have the attention, not scripted to be women talking, but scripted to draw attention away from the women in the ring by their comments. Sure. So it might go hand in hand, but at the same time, it's crap, and we just want to see women's matches. By the way, where's Becky versus Emma? I really thought I'd see that on the pre-show. It's almost like it was like retconned. It's like, they never had a problem.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. All right, next match
Becky isn't the one who steals things, though.
R-Truth versus Goldust. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. For nothing. No title involved in this match. Just it's not even, I wonder if they're going to have, keep talking about
show spot.
Yeah, I just keep talking about this being a pay-per-view to have rematches at the next pay-per-view. It's like talk show versus talk show at Extreme Rules. Ambrose Asylum versus the highlight reel, but probably not.
I think this one ends here.
Yeah.
I think Jericho moves on. I could be wrong.
Could be one off. Who knows?
I think this works better as a one-off.
I think so too. Yeah.
But we'll see what they do. So I'm going to pick Ambrose.
Yeah, I'll pick Ambrose too. I think it works better as a one-off only because I really want to feel like not everything has to last 3 months. We don't have to see a series of 5 matches throughout Raws and SmackDowns and pay-per-views and any combination of tag team, 6-man tag, or singles matches or whatever. I think this will be a good, solid, expected match with Ambrose pulling out ahead. But kind of vanilla, though, don't you think? After everything,
it is, but they're great.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not going to be disappointed by vanilla.
And I gotta admit, Ambrose has entertained me a lot more on the mic with the talk show gimmick than I ever expect. I expected him to be a lot less comfortable in that role than he's been, and he's done a great job. And the crowds, he's gotten over with the crowds, like legitimately.
Yeah,
he's made people.
You can do any. He's in that. I can do anything and get the crowd behind me. Kind of.
Yeah,
kind of.
I mean, he's made people legitimately laugh, and it shows that he actually has some. I mean, you see that with his matches sometimes, but he has some real comedic timing, which is cool. I
really wanted them to play up the whole, like, when Dean Ambrose is in the Ambrose Asylum, he plays that talk show host role a little bit more. that he did that first time when he's, like, put on the clip-on tie and did the kind of announcer voice as well and asked the questions and put the mic in front of the other guy's face. I really wanted them to play that up. They haven't done that since that first time, but still, it's been... it is what it is. It's entertaining. Wrestling has always had a talk show segment here and there throughout, the Adrian Adonis flower shop, stuff like that. We all remember
Piper's
that one.
Pit.
What's that? Piper's Pit had one too. No, but everyone remembers Adrian Adonis's flower shop. That was the
everyone.
That was the big important one. All right.
Yeah, I was just saying those really eccentric things.
Yeah, you were going really far out there. So I was keeping it 100, as they say.
Yep.
But all right, Vince McMahon's making an announcement on the fate of Monday Night Raw. So that was actually pretty good. But I think I was like,
I say that this is a match between Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon. Look at Vince.
wait. For this pay-per-view or
for this pay-per-view, he comes out and he says,
fight
why
for
don't
it.
You two just fight for it? It'd be brilliant. It would be amazing. People would lose their minds. You have an intergender match.
Do you think this might be a
brother versus sister? This would be amazing.
Do you think this might be a Triple H versus Shane match at Extreme Rules for the fate of Monday Night Raw?
I don't know. It's really time for us to have a neutral GM, and it's been really nice that even though, yes, that's just what's a front.
Well, at least he's been on camera. Like I know you're saying that because I've been negative about it, and you're just kind of like trying to not provoke me. But
no. But what I'm saying is, I know it's all still written by potentially the same people. However, it's just nice to not have someone come out and run down the crowd as the authority figure of the show, as the manager of the show.
Yeah,
and
leave that to the wrestlers.
I really
for a while.
What's that?
I said leave the running down the crowd to the wrestlers for a while.
Yeah,
Stop
let
stealing
heels be heels instead of the management be heels all the time.
I wonder if this is going to be an announcement of a brand split of sorts. My two theories were that they're going to announce that the fate of Monday Night Raw is on the line. Triple H versus Shane, whether it's on Raw the next day or whether it's, Extreme Rules or right about now, like you said.
Yeah, or the music hits.
Yeah. Or if it's going to be a brand split where he's going to give Stephanie SmackDown or give Stephanie Monday Night Raw, but then Shane, you did a good job. I'll let you control SmackDown kind of thing. And because we've had a lot of call-ups from NXT, a lot of people coming back from injury, and no one's being fired. And really, it's just the same few people. Even Damian Sandow's been on TV more. Everyone's been on TV more. And there's been more guys. So you definitely have a deep roster where they could be split in half.
Well, especially with what people think is an inevitable, two inevitable call-ups over the next 6 months with Balor, which could be this weekend, and then Bailey at some point. So
yeah, I mean that just adds more people to the roster.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's just adding more, and they're going to be people that, while we have talked about in the past, are they big names when they come to the main roster? And we've talked about that with other guys who have come up. Well, with how they've booked Corbin.
Yeah, it doesn't matter now.
And Enzo and Cass, it shows that they're investing everything they need in getting these guys over right out of the gate now. So.
And if you split the roster, they're further up the ladder than they would have been if everything's just lumped into one.
Yeah, they become stars on one show or the other.
Bailey would become a star. Like, I'm not saying she won't become a star no matter what. I have reservations on whether casual fan will really take to her, but I'm going to be proven wrong on that, I'm sure. But at the same time, it's still a women's division with one title. So it's kind of like for her, it's kind of like still...
It's still a tougher climb.
Yeah, but...
her story is easy to tell, but it's a tougher climb TV time-wise.
Yeah. All right, so your prediction here is that McMahon's going to just make them fight. And I'm going to say that it's going to be Triple H versus Shane at the next pay-per-view.
You're probably more right.
Or Raw, or it's going to be the announcement of a brand split, maybe starting in June. First Raw in June, they'll have a draft or something like that. But that's like, I wonder how much of that is just like, not even rumors, it's just wishful thinking at this point.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
And
I still think
he's also going to announce the 6-man tag title and the women's tag title at the same time. Might as well.
Oh yeah.
Since I'm throwing everything out there, might as well. Maybe something will stick to the wall. But all right, main event time. The Guy versus the guy who looks very, very tan and airbrushed in my photo here of him. By the way, all the wrestlers have been in front of the creepy Wyatt family forest background. So I wonder what they really had planned for Payback with all these promotional things with the Wyatt family. But champion Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles.
Payback was supposed to be very Wyatt family. There was supposed to be a lot of Wyatt family significance with Payback coming off of what happened. What people hated at WrestleMania, and then an injury again.
Harper was already hurt. Bray's hurt, and since Bray's hurt, they feel like Rowan and Strowman have no merit on their own, so just keep them off TV.
Well,
and that's not bad. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
No, that's proper booking, because you have what happened at Roadblock, and people are like, "What the crap is this?
Yeah.
Bray didn't even fight, and you've been building a fight, so you do that again."
Yeah,
and that would be a riot.
Yeah.
So.
All right, World Heavyweight title time. No, I'm just saying. I was just looking at the picture, and it looks very, very weird, but
very creepy.
Very creepy. I mean, Roman Reigns is very tan airbrushed. It's weird. You'll see it in a couple hours. But all right, who do you think's going to win the title? More importantly, Balor or not? I'm sorry. Balor not. That's what it's. Bal or not. There we go.
Bal or not.
Yeah, Geyer. We're gonna go Geyer on this one.
Geyer or lower. That's a show joke. You should go back and listen to other episodes to understand it. 2 or 3 episodes back, I think. So, I don't know what's going to happen in this match.
Except that Roman's retaining, right?
That's kind of what I expect.
Yeah.
I don't know why Bullet Club forms, whether it be with AJ, with Balor, against AJ, or whatever, or causing a DQ. I don't know how you come out of that with people feeling totally happy about it, but it doesn't really matter. This is a match that will be a spectacle, and that's what you want your main event to be. You don't necessarily want it to be all about run-ins and shenanigans, but when you've got a guy holding the title that a large majority of your audience, or I won't say a large majority, a large portion of your audience doesn't want to be holding the title, you got to do something. You got to have fun with it a little bit. So I'm pretty proud of how they've booked this. So with the exception being, once again, making Roman come out and say dumb stuff by making him repeat the exact same line the exact same way every single time. With that one exception, I'm pretty happy with how they've booked this coming out of Mania.
I kind of am too. As long as Roman Reigns doesn't have a mic in his hand, I'm kind of cool with it. I like the whole, I told you this before, I like the whole Sting Lex Luger thing that they got going on with AJ and the Gallows and Anderson.
Right.
We're buddies, but we're not in collusion, and then they come out and do something shady, and it's like, wait, what's going on? I love that. This is a spot where we put Balor in NXT, by the way, where we said that they were going to come help him, but he didn't really want the help.
I saw that. I noticed that developing too. I'm like, hey, we booked this. Not with this same cast of characters. But wait.
But speaking of Balor, with him impromptly, yeah, sure, losing the title on a house show Thursday. By the way, we should probably keep this show running until NXT is done for the night from now on, just in case anything happens. But last Thursday, with Balor losing the title at a house show to Samoa Joe, feigning injury in that match, Joe winning the title, shocking everybody. Balor did wrestle the next night in a tag team match. Balor and Nakamura versus Joe and somebody. I forget who it was.
I saw, I was just following all the different threads on Twitter of people talking about how amazing it was being there and stuff like that.
I mean, you saw it with the live crowd. It was like, holy crap. Like, yeah, I got a little bit of a chill.
Yeah.
No one expected it.
And I really expected them to show the whole match.
So did I.
That was
I really did too. They took 30 seconds, 8 minutes into the show to show it. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But they, so that was a little disappointing, but it does still speak to the whole, hey, that's why you should show up at NXT.
Right. That's why you should watch Raw and not expect recaps every 15 minutes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anywho, what was I saying? So I was following different threads on Twitter and stuff, and people who were there said they're kayfabing this a little bit. People, he's not injured. Immediately after the quote unquote injury, he ran full steam across the ring from corner to corner to hit Joe with stuff before it set up the inevitable downfall, or it set up the, that's inevitable was not the right word, but it set up his downfall. But he was fine. It was kayfabe, and then they've only shown you what you need to see to think, oh, something could be going on with Balor. And so I thought it was kind of neat to see fans who were just so jacked about what happened, and also like being the sort of the eyewitnesses.
Oh yeah.
On the scene saying, hey, no, he's fine. He's good. This is just he's gonna debut, and then he messes with everybody, and he trolls and trolls.
Says we'll be on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, he's been trolling people for a few months lately.
Yeah, he's been trolling since the Bullet Club stuff.
And I'm not too sure how much I like that or not, but they really sold this as an injury with the whole taking the boot off in the ring, throwing up the X for the ref or whatever. Whether it's they did it just to make Balor like, okay, he lost the title, but he was injured. But then you made him wrestle. Then he wrestled the next night. So it's really weird to see something like that. He didn't debut on Raw, although he said he was going to. He didn't. Do we get a situation here where
no, he said I'll see you Monday.
I'll see you Monday.
Which Monday?
No, I think he said he mentioned Raw by name in another tweet or something. But or the fans at ringside said I'll see you guys Monday on Raw. But and then a tweet says see you Monday.
Still didn't say which Monday.
Yeah, but he didn't. He still didn't say. Yeah, you're right. He could still be DDB's benefactor. We never know because they never announced that either.
Yeah,
WCW. But the only situation I want to see Balor debut.
Power.
What?
He could be the actual higher power. It wasn't really Vince.
Yeah. He can be
Austin's
he can be Vince's illegitimate son and the anonymous GM at the same time. The only situation I want Finn Balor to be in here, to debut, is a lights out comes the demon with his full entrance kind of Balor. I don't want to see just him hop the rail or run out or anything. I need to see face painted Balor with the smoke crawling to the ring, having the lights come on at the appropriate moment in the song. And then like a bewildered, beaten up Roman Reigns in the corner of the ring, like on the ground, like staring, like crap. What's gonna happen now? Kind of thing.
Hold up. You ready for this?
Yeah.
How about this? How about and this would just mess people up bad. It really would. But how about Reigns' music starts? Reigns doesn't come out. Reigns' music, so they start over his music. Reigns still doesn't come out. Lights go black. And then...
Oh, Balor comes out with his head?
And no.
Oh.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh.
No, but then Balor comes out, and then the Bullet Club comes out, or Balor Club, whatever, Bulletproof, whatever they're going to be known as. Gallows and Anderson come out with Reigns and drag him to the ring and throw him in.
They're the hashtag good friends, GF.
Yeah.
That's what they are. I would like to
good
see...
brothers. It's GB.
Oh, GB. Sorry. Good brothers.
GB for life.
My bad.
Just brother it up, as Gallows would say.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a situation where I'm just waiting for Balor, and Balor never happens.
Oh, yeah, I can too.
I really can, but if we're going to talk about him losing the
Raw,
title...
Yeah,
if we're going to talk about him losing the title, and then, like, because of losing the title, like, the only other explanation would be that main roster needs him. And then, like, Anderson and Gallows and AJ are hot right now. So let's just do it. Kind of booking.
Yeah.
Months before we were going to, or just if we weren't even going to include Balor at all, just, like, let's do it. I think it's a good place to do it. I still need Balor to come out with the entrance, though, because I need the fans that never seen him before to see that and have that be their first impression of this guy.
Well, and that's why I like the idea of it being sort of an interruption to the main event.
But you can't chop Roman Reigns' head off. He'll die.
I didn't say that. You did.
Oh.
But you have an interruption of the main event like that where it's jarring, it's freaky, it's weird, and people are like, what is going on? And these guys that have been so hot on Raw and SmackDown, Gallows and Anderson, put the dot on the exclamation and drag Roman to the ring and throw him out there, and then you do whatever you want to do. Maybe AJ, I don't know what you do. Maybe they then beat up AJ too before the match starts,
so and then you have like a Extreme Rules match where it's Gallows, Anderson, and Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns and AJ Styles handicap match.
You could do something.
Something like that, sure.
Or
I kind of want to see AJ go to them though now. Like, I really want to see this happen. I really want to see, like, the whole full, like, you know what, screw it. And then AJ just joins them.
Or AJ just walks out on the match. You could do that. And then you end up having this feud. I don't know. You could just hotshot the title. AJ wins it. And then you have a feud. Yeah. And then you have a feud. And there are 3 bulletproof guys. Or whatever they're going to be. Good brothers.
The Good Brothers. The GBs.
They're 3 GBs.
GBFFs.
Man, wouldn't it be great if there were 2 guys that could help Reigns fight these Good Brothers?
Do you know?
Wouldn't it be great if Reigns had 2 Good Brothers to fight with him?
Yeah, Seth Rollins and Ambrose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the Usos, so I was throwing out the joke comment.
No, I wasn't being.
I thought you meant the Usos.
I was saying. Yeah, because a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people comment that, man, that if you had Shield versus Bullet Club.
Roman Reigns is bringing the Uso brothers down, by the way. People are now booing the Usos because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Do you know what would be a good Monday after?
But this is a bunch of crazy shenanigans. I don't know how it happens, but I suspect Reigns retains.
Reigns is going to retain, and probably off a distraction from Gallows and Anderson, where AJ is kind of like, "What are you guys doing?" And he turns around and eats a spear or something like that. But what would be great is if on Monday Night Raw or a Monday Night Raw, the Usos come out for their Samoan opening, whatever, and then the lights go out. And Finn Balor's music plays, and when the lights come up and he does his thing, his little stand-up thing, like both Usos are just laid out on the ramp. It's like you don't know how it happened, but the demon just got him. And then that's his thing. Like time somebody comes down a ramp, like the lights go out and his music plays instead, and then the person's laid out,
cool.
And then they drop blood from the ceiling, and it goes all over him, splatters all over. No,
it's not the Brood.
No.
It's not the freaking Brood.
My bad.
It's not Vampiro.
My bad. But all in all, this seems like a stacked pay-per-view.
I know you're a big Vampiro fan.
I really, I don't think you have either.
Vampiro.
I don't think either one of us has watched Lucha Underground since like episode 2.
No.
You haven't, right?
I've seen crazy things have been happening, and there's a big spoiler looming for 2017.
Well, like I said, yeah, 2017 spoilers are out already. Like I said, I got Pro Wrestling Illustrated for Christmas, and the first issue had was year in review, and I opened it, and I'm like, oh, cool, Lucha Underground, like title history. Like, let me just recap. And it had all this year's title changes as well, and I'm like, oh boy, all right. All right, it's almost as bad as opening my Twitter today and seeing a NXT taping spoiler.
Yeah, well,
I wasn't going to avoid that.
On that.
I wasn't going to avoid that. Don't worry about it. But we won't spoil it now. But it's going to be fun. But yeah,
I want to talk about that briefly once we're done. By the way.
Okay, we are done. I have the graphic up that says "Thanks for watching." There's our stuff on there, our handles and whatnot. And I am America, and so can you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you. I'm the Duke, and he's America, apparently.
Oh, man, I already hit stop, so get off my computer.